Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 5, are going to presentate about materials. Before we getting started, we like to introduce our group members. First, my name is Alfin Pratama, and then Eva Maria and Norman Esa. So the first is, what is materials? Materials is working form, program goals, and objectives. The teacher must address the essential questions of what the content will be and how it will be sequenced. Therefore, the next step is teacher should apply whether adopting, developing, or adapting the materials related to the content. And then, first, adopting materials. So, in adopting materials, decisions has to be made about the types of materials that will be appropriate, and then the materials should be located through publishers' catalogs, a book receipt list, or on fellow teachers' shelves. The following is checklist for adopting textbook. So first is material backgrounds. In this point, 2 points should take into considerations. There are author's credentials, education and experience, and publisher reputations. Those are very important in adopting materials since it will be give information relating the author has significant formal education such as PhD, or the author maybe has reputation for producing innovative materials. And second is fit to curriculum. The degree of relationship between a set of materials and particular program can be determined by considering the degree of materials fit to curriculum. This deals with each approach, syllabus, needs, goals, and objectives, also content. And next is physical characteristic. It may take the form of layout considerations such as the amount of space, relative quantities and qualities of pictures and text, the effectiveness of highlighting and each other. Moreover, it includes the organizational problems like the existence and quality of a table of content, index, answer keys, glossary, and reference potential of the book. The editorial quality should be also considered, like the content is accurate and edited in a manner consistent with your style, as well as the direction and example are clear and easy to follow. Another physical characteristic is material quality that relates to paper binding and throughout pages. And then logistical characteristic. This relates to price, auxiliary parts like audiovisual aids, workbooks, software, and unit tests, and availability. So next is teachability. Teachability is the last point in adopting material. It should consider the teacher additions including answer key and annotation to help teacher explain, plan activities, and etc. Reviews and accessibility among teachers. And then developing materials. So how can we develop our materials when we teach in a class with the students? First, we should find teachers who are willing to work as a material developer. So maybe they have to be creative like that, and then ensure that all materials developer have copies of relevant document. And then divide the labor, work individual or team to create the materials, establish a resource file, and consider working modularly in material packets. So next is adapting material. This adapting material is the process of adapting materials involves finding and evaluating materials and for features including analyzing, classifying, fill in the gaps, and reorganizing. The first step is to find and evaluate materials that might serve at least some of the students' needs and help to meet at least some course objectives. In the steps, includes the following steps. First, matches the current objectives. And second, mismatches the current objective. And then, what we have to prepare to give students materials. So, first is to gather basic teaching items. Means this plan is for teachers when they want to teach in a class, so they have to prepare the materials first, and will be a good planning and easier plan for teacher to give the materials. So the first is a good textbook or lessons, perhaps from the internet. So we can find the textbooks or maybe file or the complete materials in the internet for us to teach. And second is maybe you can write down in a small whiteboard with pens. But if you don't have access to a classroom board, maybe you can use a paper or something. And then blank paper. A student may ask for some. And 4, regular or picture dictionary. And 5 is list of extra activities to fill leftover time. Means to what is that? To spend the rest of the time when we finish the explain material early. And then collect useful materials. Be sure to protect your materials because they may be handled many times. Slip paper materials into page protectors or magnetic photo album pages. Glue them onto cardstock or laminate them. And then make your own ESL materials. Creativity helps you, but you don't need to be a creative genius to make useful materials to accompany your lesson. Maybe you can write simple quizzes, write simple dialogues and role plays like that. Write tongue twister to focus on the problem sounds and to make them happy as well. And then create crossword puzzle using vocabulary words to train their vocabulary, and then make alphabet or vocabulary flashcard to make it easier, and then create games, drawings, or maybe posters. Or maybe you can use a craft with your lessons such as cutting snowflakes or decorating Easter eggs or something. And the last is use available technology. So if you have access to a TV or VCR, cassette CD player, or overhead projector, or even a computer, use them properly to bring variety to your lessons. Always be prepared with a non-technical backup activity should your equipment unexpectedly fail. So but you have to prepare for emergency things that may happen in the middle of the materials. So you have to prepare your backup plan. For example, like maybe you have to prepare a whiteboard or something to write down the materials and etc. So here you can videotape TV commercial or new clips, or maybe you can borrow a library video from library, or maybe you can take a footage from the internet. And maybe you can use diagrams or cartoon, or you can record a few minutes of radio talk, or you can use a podcast too, or YouTube videos. And perhaps you can use a popular song to play and make a worksheet of the song lyrics with missing word blanks. If you use a cassette, record the song 2 until 3 times for easy playback. Or maybe if you use a laptop or computer, you can rewind or replay the songs to make sure that students is understand with the song lyrics. And then play background music or instrumental music while students work on an activity, so that students can be relaxed when they are learning and understanding the materials. And then maybe you can find a website your student can use for ESL activities. I think that's all for our group. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.